In this video, I want to analyze the overall stock market, and I want to explain some of the stocks I'm looking at for trade opportunities in the coming month of November. So to start off, let's look at the SPY. So we sold off, I think, in the last month, and we basically bounced perfectly at the bottom trend, and we made a recovery back to the median regression. So right here, I was anticipating a move down at this area. I was hoping that we can sell off at the 4-hour 6-month median regression trend. However, we did break through, but I still believe that we're probably gonna move down. We might sell off a little bit because we are at the median regression trend on the yearly chart. So as you can see, we basically came up there and we rejected like right away, and I think it's even better shown on the intraday chart. So yeah, I mean, we opened higher in pre-market. However, when market opened, we retested that zone and we basically sold off. So I'm anticipating a move down, at least for the SPY, and I feel that this is good because it'll open up opportunities for a lot of the better stocks in the market for a swing opportunity. So the notable one I'm looking at is Apple. So Apple, so here we're making, we had a pretty bullish trend up to the median, and we did sell off, and all the bullish traders are basically getting absorbed by sellers stepping into the market. So I'm anticipating that if the market does sell off, we can perhaps come over to the 140 or 143 level, and that's where Apple would be a really good buying opportunity, as every time we did come over to those bottom bounds, it had a really nice bounce back to the median. So this whole, if I can highlight this whole trade over here, this whole level over here, and this level over here. So I think that that's really important, or that's one of the big trade ideas that I'm hoping to get into. Now the other stock I want to talk about is T-Mobile. This is just like the general, hey, we're at the bottom bound, but the thing is, this one is a lot more riskier than the other stocks that I am trading, because the overall telecom sector has been selling off. So here's AT&T, we're basically down 25%. Here's Verizon, we're also down around like 15% for this. So the overall telecom industry has been down, and I couldn't really find a reason why. So it's kind of flying blind per se, but the thing is, T-Mobile just looks really good on the chart. We have an increasing linear regression channel. Now of course on the 4-hour 6-month chart, it doesn't look that great, but if we go over to the weekly chart, so the 3-year weekly chart, we're at the bottom bound, right? And the last time we had that was all the way back in like January, February, March. So March 2020. That's when we had it, and that was pretty much a low. That was like one of the lowest prices T-Mobile ever came to. So I think that at this point, T-Mobile is really, really good price. Now the concerning part is that tomorrow, so I'm making this video on November 1st, and November 2nd is when the earnings report is. So if they do their earnings well, or if their earnings are good, I think that it'll probably have a really good trend back to the median of 133. but I'm hoping that, there's not really any reaction towards it. In a perfect world, I mean, they do amazing in their earnings and it rises up, but I think that that's really unlikely. We might, if they do well in their earnings, we might see something like Verizon, where they did okay, and it only pushed the stock up a little bit, So I'm hoping that, T-Mobile, they have good earnings and it could push the stock up, but I think this is more for a long-term trade. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna try and quick fire a couple of stocks that I'm looking at. So yeah, the first one is AMN. Now this is just a random stock. It's just like a quick swing trade that I'm taking. We're basically had a really strong bullish trend throughout the market over here, and we sold off, and we've already kind of shown signs of growth, so I hopped in, and I'm gonna try and trade it to the yearly median of 113. So that's one of them. The other stocks I'm looking at is Visa. They didn't do that well in their earnings, or their earnings call. I think they did okay in their earnings. It's just that there's some issue that investors didn't like, and we had a sell-off. But hey, I mean, we basically went to the bottom bound. Now, I'm probably not going to be able to take a trade in this because the EMA isn't giving me confirmation of signs of growth. So I'm probably going to miss this. But in a perfect world, in order for me to take this trade, I would want the price to reject back and forth between the bottom bound and this dashed line, just consolidate enough where the EMA will catch up, and if we do have a bullish trend coming, I can come in fairly early. So that's the perfect scenario. Next we have IBM. So IBM, again, I mean, we're at the bottom bound. It looks pretty good on the daily chart, and on the weekly chart it doesn't look the greatest, but I mean the 6 month and the daily yearly chart, I feel like it's good enough for a small swing to the next bound or even to the median. So that's an idea. It's not the greatest setup because we didn't really have a clear bullish trend. It's like AMN, right? We had a clear bullish trend, and we had a pretty big sell-off, and now we're making our way back. But for IBM, we're just we had a lot of in-between action, and then a sell-off, which made it a good price. So it's again not the greatest setup, but it is a setup. Now the next one is the bank stocks. So this is Capital One. They didn't do that great on earnings either, but we are at the bottom bound, and as you can see, we had selling action, and we're kind of getting absorption. So the sellers might try and push it further down, but the buyers are stepping in, and now it's a stalemate almost, where neither buyers nor sellers are pushing the price up. So it's a good sign that there might be a reversal coming. So that's a good stock. And I think I had one more bank in here somewhere. Aha, Discover. So this is again another bank stock. Or card stock, but it looks, we're at the bottom bound. It looks pretty good. I mean, yeah, even on the yearly chart, it looks really good. Similar to where is it? IBM. The bank stocks are not really the greatest setup because they don't have a clear bullish uptrend. So they don't have the clear. I mean, Capital One sorta does, but around this area, around this area, it's just a lot of in-between action. So again, it's not the greatest setup. But anyways, other than that, that's basically all I have. As a recap, I think I'm anticipating that the SPY might sell down, as we are at a pretty important resistance level on the daily chart. And if we do sell off, tech stocks will likely be a really good investment. The one I have my eyes on is Apple. If we can make our way down to the 142 or 140 to 143 level, that'll be a really good price to buy into. We talked about T-Mobile. It's a pretty good general, long-term trade, I feel like. And we have AMN, just a quick swing trade. And anyways, that's it. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day.